So I don't really have a plan. I don't have a list. I don't have a lot of things. I've got about $100 left over in my budget this month. I saved $5 because I didn't go to Starbucks. So I've got my coffee. I'm ready to run into Walmart and I'm just going to start prepping. I'm ready to get started. So let's just do it.
Hey friends, I'm Heidi, the Heavenly Minded Homemaker. It is my goal to encourage and equip you to live a life of peace, of purpose, and abundance. I believe in homegrown revival, and today's video is another step down that narrow path. So before we get into it, be sure to hit that like button and say hello to Barley.
This weather's not my home, I'm just a passing through. My praises are laid up somewhere beyond the blue.
So before I head in there, this is my no plan, if that makes any sense. I shared with you guys in Saturday's video about how I just know I need to get working on this and start actually making things happen. I know that prices are going to go up, okay? Prices have only been going up, and I think we're all feeling that. Your dollar just does not go as far as it used to, let alone with whatever tariff, whatever might happen. We've kind of got a little bit of a reprieve here, but those days are ticking down. The reality is things are probably going to get worse before they get better, whether we are getting ready to go into Depression 2.0, heck, the greatest depression. I mean, we don't know what's going to go on, but there has been a lot of turmoil and a lot of uncertainty here in Western North Carolina. While it is beautiful today and absolutely cozy here as spring is officially sprung, we went through Hurricane Helene last year. And so it is really fresh in my mind that in the blink of an eye, when you are least expecting it, everything can fall apart. Everything can go down. And I don't say that to strike fear or worry or panic. It just is a reality. And weather's only getting weirder. I mean, out here, my blackberries are already blooming and we have fireflies out. It's April. Our weather is so weird and we're having so many things. I don't even know what this year is going to bring because it is so strange. We're having wildfires like crazy, even with rain that we're getting because of so much forested land that was destroyed with the hurricane. We just literally have a ripe tinderbox all around us. So we need to be prepared for whatever that might be. And so I was kind of overwhelmed with all of this, didn't really know where to start. And last night, as I was kind of doing my evening routine, getting ready for bed, I was like, you know, this is ridiculous. We have about $100 of wiggle room in our budget this month, which usually doesn't happen, but praise God, it's there this month. We've been splitting our time in between being here in North Carolina, being up in Tennessee, caring for my aging parents and grandfather, which we've shared all about. You guys can watch that video down below, but it's allowed me a little extra room in the budget as we haven't been using all of the things, you know, because we haven't been home the full month. I kind of have a little extra here. And so it's like, you know what, let's just take this extra and let's go ahead. I'm just going to come here to Walmart. It's in the morning. It's a little bit quiet, right? Our little sleepy mountain town here. I'm just going to get as many things as I can because part of this has been me almost like frozen because I wasn't sure what my plan was. I wasn't sure what exactly I was going to do or how exactly I needed to set this up. But right, you start watching some of these videos and they have it so organized and so together. And then I think, oh, well, I got to figure out a whole plan and system before I get started. And then that's kind of just stopped me dead in my tracks. And so a little unhinged, I said, you know what, forget the plan, forget the system. I'm just going to take the money. I'm going to come in here. I'm going to start over in like the first aid area. I am just going to buy so this is the unhinged no plan, okay? I have $100-ish plus $5 because I didn't go through Starbucks. I was good and just brought my own coffee. I'm going to go through each aisle. I'm going to grab the things that our family I know needs, uses, would like to have on hand. I'm going to try to see how many aisles I can get through. And even if I can just buy one of each item, at least that will be one of those items on my prepared pantry shelf for the day that the systems go down, your interstate gets wiped off of the side of the mountain. That happened here, genuinely. Trucks couldn't come and bring us more stuff for a while. Whether it's just prices going up, us needing to find ways to stretch the dollar further, the fact that whatever I pay for these products here today, odds are this time next year, they're going to cost more. So I'm saving money, being future me is going to thank me. And so having that kind of like depression era mindset, looking to the 1920s and 30s, and what can we learn from our grandparents, great grandparents, right? However many you have to go to get to yours. What can we learn from what they went through to be better prepared today, to be wiser today, to be better stewards today? And so that is the no plan plan. I'm going to go in, I'm going to see how much I can get, and then we're going to sit here and we're going to go through how much I spent and what I was able to get with, like I said, $100-ish and $5. I am pretty sure I'm at $100 already. My card is only that much full. Oh yeah.
This woman can come over.
Excuse me, thank you. Literally right on the money. I said I had $100-ish and I saved $5 because I didn't go through Starbucks. I straight up walked around with my mug and drank my coffee while I was shopping, which means I had about $105. I spent $105, right? 104 and some change. I am kind of like intensely disappointed right now, but also just proved my own point. And that is because $100 worth of supplies is in 2 bags. 2. And pretty much everything I bought was store brand. There was only a couple items that they didn't have a store brand option of, and I really only went through 1 aisle. Pretty much everything was in 1 aisle. I got a couple things, so maybe like 2 aisles. I barely scratched the surface and it cost me $105. So let's look at what we got, why I chose these things, and why or not am I thinking that this unhinged way to prepare for the depression is a good idea. Okay, let's do it. All right, with my booming $100 prepared pantry unhinged shopping spree, like I said, I went down, I started over there in like the first aid medicine area and was like, what are things that I know our family regularly uses, could need, and would be nice to have on hand? Now, yes, I did have the experience of going through Hurricane Helene, is it 7-8 months ago now, last fall, where when something catastrophic happens like that you were not prepared for, that none of us could have been prepared for, it really stood out to us the things, the sickness and discomforts we started dealing with that were like so not the norm. And so I kind of had that in mind when I was thinking of what are things that I would want to have in our pantry to have on hand if something were to happen that I could just run down and grab. So some of these are like daily use things. Some things are just like me kind of having that in the back of my head and going, what would I want to have? So I got just a multi-pack Band-Aids. I will say I'm a mom of 4. My youngest is 7. When my kids are young, I don't buy Band-Aids. I don't buy Band-Aids because if my kids know I have Band-Aids, they will want a Band-Aid for everything. And so at some point when my kids were little, I just stopped buying Band-Aids. I had like a couple emergency Band-Aids if I had to. We have like a first aid kit in our hiking bag. We have one in the car. So like technically if I really had to, I could find them, but I don't keep Band-Aids at home. I thought just a multi-pack of Band-Aids would be a good thing to have in there. I did get the anti-itch cream. Again, all of these things are equate. And I should say, when I get home, I'm going to put all of these on a Walmart list for you. I'm just going to keep adding to it. And so if you're wanting to add these things to your prepared pantry at home, I will put a link down below. You literally can click, add the things you want, and have it delivered, or just pick up from your own store. So I'm going to come out here and do this out in the rain now, but I'm going to put it on a list to make it really, really simple and easy for you. So if you want to get started with this, you totally can. I'm doing the legwork for you, but I did get some anti-itch cream. We have poison ivy. We have lots of bugs. We have lots of things out here in the country that this is just always good to have on hand. So I did get to that. I got an anti-diarrhea medicine. Again, sicknesses, things start coming up. The last thing you want is to be stuck in a situation where you got that going on. That's no good. I got a gas relief. Just trying to think of things while I was standing over there. What are all of those things that, like, yeah, you would normally just pop over to the store for it, but if you couldn't do that, again, I've got hurricane stuff on like the kind of top of my mind over here. What are the things, the discomforts we were dealing with? And especially when maybe you're eating different foods, you're drinking water that, you know, you're having to purify and stuff, and like you're just not feeling so hot. Those were things I wanted to have on hand. I got a 2-pack of like Neosporin to have on hand. I did get a bottle of just plain regular aspirin. What amazes me is nearly everything I got was like $2, with a couple things that were like $5. Epsom salt was a little bit more. I got a tube of just cheap dollar toothpaste. I want to start building up our family's like toiletries. I've kind of broken this down. There's like your first aid and medical stuff. There's like toiletries, hygiene, products like that. And then of course there's food. And then there's like survival items. So I feel like there's different categories of this. This one is definitely going to end up being just kind of that like first aid health type one. Got a cheap thing of mucus relief, just like a decongestant expectorant. Got some calamine lotion. So we have poison ivy out here, and me and my son are very, very affected by poison ivy. So that's always good to have on hand. I also went ahead and got some poison ivy spray. I got famotidine. This is a great acid reducer, but also I was instructed by a nurse, if you're having a bad allergic reaction, you can take this with Benadryl and it helps to do even more. So we always keep this on hand. We have some pretty big allergies in our household, and so having that you can again double up, especially with bad rashes and things, that really helps. I got a nasal spray, especially I've got kids with, you know, allergies. You think of getting sick or something going on that you're not expecting. I got some earache drops, because the last thing you want when you are already trying to deal with whatever horrible situation has led you to the fact that you're down there rummaging through your prepared pantry is an earache. So I thought that would be a good thing to have. Got some dry eye relief, just some eye drops. Again, these are all store brand. These things were all a couple dollars a piece, but I only got 27 items, so it really does start to add up. I went ahead and got just a bottle of generic ibuprofen. I got a bottle of a stool softener. Again, just thinking of those troubles that you might not want to be dealing with, especially when, you know, times are tough. A pack of nausea relief. I keep this in my purse and in the car. I literally have some right here at all times, because that is never fun. Bottle of just generic stomach relief. It's like Pepto-Bismol. I hate medicine in liquid form, so I pretty much always get tablet or pill form because I really hate liquids. I love having zinc tablets on hand. If you're starting to feel a cold or anything coming on, you start popping some zinc. And I just like this. It makes it very easy to take in. I did get a big, this one was like a $10. So I did get a couple, I think there were a couple things that were closer to the $10 range. This was one of them. I did get the combo pack of store brand NyQuil. So just to have on hand, it's usually my family's go-to if we've gotten sick. Obviously we do a lot of natural things as well, which we'll do in a different video if you have questions, because I think some of you might be looking at this going, you know, there are other ways. I know there are other ways, but then sometimes you want to have this type of stuff, and so I want to be doing both. I want to be doing as much as I can. Allergy relief, Benadryl. Like I said, I have kids with very big allergies, and so having that stuff on hand is very, very important. I struggle from migraines, so having an extra bottle of Excedrin in there, very, very important. And then I got a bottle of Tylenol as well. So I did Advil, Tylenol, kind of one of each, so that way we would have it. And then in the heavy bag, I did get a big bag of Epsom salt. This is always good to have on hand. There are a million uses for this. And so this is an absolute must to store up some of that. I got a bottle of rubbing alcohol and I did 2 bottles of peroxide. So that is the grand unhinged haul for the start of my prepper pantry. Okay, so while it totally stinks that I just spent $105 on 2 bags of items, it proves the point. The point being that these things are only getting more and more expensive. Our dollar is only stretching shorter and shorter distances as we go on. So yes, I'm still glad that I did it. Yes, I'm still glad that having that little extra, normally we probably would have been like, oh, we have a little extra, let's go out to eat tonight instead of making dinner, right? Or I would have been scrolling online or doing something and seeing something and go, oh, okay, we got a little extra, I'll just do that. I could have put it in savings, yes, but I also could invest it in things for a prepared pantry. And I think that there are so many pieces of this, right? Like there is the first aid, there's the health and hygiene, there is food, there is survival, like there are so many different things that we could be investing it in that I think sometimes we kind of then just like stop in that analysis paralysis and go, I don't even know what the best option is. And then you end up doing nothing. Where instead I said, I'm just going to be impulsive. I'm going to take it. I'm just going to buy as much as I can. Now, as much as I can wasn't as much as in my head last night thinking about this that I thought it was going to be, but it's still a start. I am now $100 worth of medicine and supplies closer to this self-sustainable place that I want to be, even in our modern day and age. Next year, when I would go to buy these products, they're going to cost more than they did today. Even if it's just pennies, those pennies add up. And we've all been seeing this over time, that things are just becoming more and more expensive. So am I glad I did it? 1000% yes. Did I get as much as I thought I was going to? Nope, not at all. I got 2 bags sitting here next to me, okay? It wasn't exactly what I thought it was going to be, but I'm closer. I'm starting. It's better than nothing. And so I will keep sharing if you guys are interested. Obviously, I didn't make it very far. I still need to get to the other categories of supplies that we need to have. And this is just a start to this. I also need to come up with a simple and economical way to store all of this stuff, because the last thing I want to do is invest in this stuff and then it get ruined. So I need to be able to store it properly. I need to be able to keep it organized right. Yes, there are all of those other pieces. I need to work on our savings. I need to work on projects around the homestead to actually make us as sustainable as possible. Sure, there's lots of other pieces. This might have been a little unhinged, might have been a little impulsive. Not might have, it totally was, but at least it's done. At least I am one step closer. I'm a little bit closer to becoming more prepared, more sustainable than I was yesterday. And I'll take that. Because sometimes it's those little steps. Sometimes you just have to do it. So you have to let me know down in the comments below. Have you started? Do you have a prepared pantry? Are you starting to put together backups and supplies so that way your family could be self-contained, self-sustainable for a week, for a month, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, a year or more? This isn't going to get us through all of that, but we're getting there. We're starting the process. And sometimes you just have to go for it. Sometimes you just have to say, you know what? I'm going to cut a little out of the budget. I'm going, I'm going to find myself a little bit of money that I can start buying some things. Maybe next month I'll take $100 that I wiggle out of somewhere and I put it into savings. This month I put the $100 towards some first aid supplies that we could have in our prepared pantry. So you have to let me know down in the comments below. I love that we can have a space here to be that community that I think so many of us are missing. I cannot wait to hear what you all are doing. I'm not saying I know at all what I'm doing. I just went for it, okay? I just stepped out in faith and said, Lord, I'm gonna start this process. So if you have some tips and tricks and ideas that you wanna share, leave them below, let me know. Otherwise, be sure you subscribe, like this video, when you comment, right? Things like that will allow these videos to start showing up on your feed more, so that way we can all get a little bit closer each and every day. I'll go ahead and leave this playlist right up here of more things along this line that I think might be an encouragement to you here today. And I will see you all right back here in the next video. Bye, friends.